Hello and welcome to part 3 of Shevuout Daf 38b. Hopefully you can see the sun. It's sunny here, and I'm feeling the warmth, so let's go. If one claimed that another owes him vessels on land, if one claimed both vessels on land, and the defendant admitted to owing him all the vessels he claimed, but denied that he owed him any land, or if he admitted to owing him all or some of the land, but denied owing him any of the vessels, he is exempt from taking an oath by Torah. If he denied owing him any of the land, but admitted to owing him some of the vessels, or denied that he owed him the other vessels, he is liable by Torah law to take an oath concerning the vessels he denied, and the oath can be extended to include land he denied. And that's when Rambam say from Mishpatim, Toan Venitan 5.3, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 95.8. And the defendant admitted to owing him vessels but denied the claim of land. And conversely, he admitted to owing land but denied the claim of vessels. He is exempt from taking an oath, as those are not things concerning claims involving land. If he admitted to part of the claim about land, he is exempt. If he admitted to part of the claim about vessels, he is liable to take an oath concerning the entire claim, as property does not serve as a guarantee. Hachasim she'ein lahem acharayus. Land is referred to as property that serves as a guarantee, as it is lien to one's debts. The reason that land is lien to debts, the creditor relies on it for payment, since it cannot be physically taken away. A movable property binds a property that serves as a guarantee, i.e. the land. So the oath about movable property can be extended to require him to take an oath concerning the land as well. One does not take an oath concerning the claim of a deaf mute. It explains that Ein nichba'in al tana'as charash hirish v'chuna. By Torah law, one does not take an oath concerning the claim of a deaf mute, an imbecile, or a minor. By rabbinic law, one does take an oath of inducement concerning the claim of a minor. Sorry about this. Making a quick note for myself. Well, it flows into my head. That's Roman and citing the Rama writes, citing Torah, that if a minor does not yet reach the age of 6, which is the age of young children whose transactions are valid, one does not even take an oath of inducement concerning his claim. Rama say finish part of Mechad Toan Venitan 5.9, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 96.1-2. An imbecile or minor. The members of these three categories are frequently grouped together because of their presumed limited intellectual capacity or inability to act responsibly. They are not obligated to perform mitzvot, nor are they held responsible for any damage they may cause. They also lack the legal capacity to act as agents. Although the three are often mentioned together, there are many differences among the halachot governing each of them, and the court does not administer an oath to a minor. The court never administers an oath to a minor, nor does it declare that he is excommunicated if he is lying. This is because minors are not aware of the severity of the punishment of taking a false oath, nor are they aware of the severity of excommunication of an adult has a claim against a minor. When the minor denies the claim, the court waits until the minor reaches majority and administers an oath of inducement to him. And that's in the Rambam Sefer Mishpatim, Hilchot Toan Venitan 5.10-11, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 96.2-3. But one does take an oath to a minor or to a representative of the temple treasury with regard to consecrated property. How does the court administer an oath to someone? One who is liable to take an oath is required to take an oath by using the name of God or by one of God's appellations. E.g., I hereby take an oath by the name of the God of Israel, or I hereby take an oath by the gracious one. This is according to the opinion of the rabbis who disagree. So Rabbi Ba'idi, Rambam Sefer Flach, Shevuout 11.8, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:16-17. who is liable to take an oath. Rabbi Yehuda says that Rav says the court administers to him the oath stated in the Torah as it's written in Avram's instruction to his servant. I now make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven, in Genesis 27:3. Ravina said to Rav Ashi, in accordance with whose opinion is Rav's statement, it is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Chanina bar Adi, who says that when one is liable to take an oath, we require him to take it using the ineffable name of God. Rav Ashi said to him, you may even say that it is in accordance with the opinion of the rabbis who say that one is merely required to take an oath using an appellation of God. The part of ramification of our statement is that just as in the aforementioned verse, Abraham said, please place your hand on my thigh, and I will make you swear, in Genesis 24:2-3. 7, to grasp his circumcised penis, which is considered sacred to some degree, and so too in oaths administered by the court, one must grasp a sacred item in his hand while taking the oath. When one is liable to take an oath by Torah law or by rabbinic law, says the Rashbam, with the exception of an oath of inducement, he is required to grasp a sacred item while taking the oath. If a court administers an oath without requiring the one taking the oath to grasp a sacred item, this is considered a mistaken ruling. So the litigant is required to take another oath while grasping a sacred item. The Ramah cited in the Maharik, as that if a court administers an oath of inducement to the defendant, requiring him to grasp a sacred item, and the defendant prefers to pay rather than take the oath, the attempt to administer the oath in this manner is considered a mistaken ruling of the court, and the money must be returned to the defendant. The Ran notes that in a case where the judge finds it necessary to administer an oath in which the litigant grasps a sacred item, he has a mandate to do so, even if this is not required by halacha. On Sefer Shevuout 11:11, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:13, and the comment of the Ramah 87:20. While taking the oath, and this is in accordance with the opinion of Rava, as Rava said. This judge who administers an oath by the Lord, the God of heaven, without instructing the litigant to grasp a sacred item, is considered like one who made a mistake with regard to a matter that appears in the Mishnah. Kamesha Ta'ar Bedvad Mishnah. Although this halacha is not stated in the Mishnah, although it's stated by the Amor Rav, it is ruled in Tractate Sanhedrin 33a that an established halacha stated by one of the Amoraim has the same status as halacha stated in the Mishnah with regard to whether the ruling is revoked. In which case the ruling is revoked, and the litigant must repeat the oath. And Rav Papa said the judge who administers an oath in which the litigant grasps phylacteries, not a Torah scroll, is considered like one who made a mistake with regard to a matter that appears in the Mishnah, in which case the ruling is revoked, and the litigant must repeat the oath. The Gemara concludes that halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rava, but the halacha is not in accordance with the opinion of Rav Papa. The halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rava, if the litigant merely took an oath using the ineffable name of God, he is required to take another oath, as he was not grasping any sacred item in his hand. But the halacha is not in accordance with the opinion of Rav Papa, and if the litigant was grasping phylacteries, he is required to take another oath, as he was grasping a sacred item in his hand, although it was not a Torah scroll. One takes an oath while standing. Shivu ba'amod. While taking an oath, one must be standing grasping a Torah scroll in his hand. If the court administered an oath to him while he was sitting, he is not required to take another oath while standing. While Sefer Shevuout 11:8, 11 Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:16. Torah scroll takes an oath while sitting. Talmid Chacham Yishuv. The court administers an oath to Torah scroll while he is sitting at the Venetian. Nowadays, no distinction is made between Torah scroll and others with regards to halacha, and all must stand. And that's from the Rambam Sefer Shevuout 11:12 Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:16. One takes an oath grasping a Torah scroll. Shivu b'Sefer Torah. The sacred item held by the one taking the oath should be a Torah scroll. He should not say, "I hereby take an oath by this Torah scroll." Rather, he should grasp the Torah scroll in his hands and say, "I hereby take an oath in the name of God," to the Rashba. If he held the phylacteries instead, he is not required to take another oath according to the opinion of Rava. The Ramah cited in the Maharik writes that one can grasp any sacred book that mentions the name of God. See the Shach and the Taz. The authorities write that the custom is that one taking the oath puts his hand on a Torah scroll which is placed in front of him, but he does not hold the scroll in his hands. This is the custom with regard to oaths taken concerning payment of taxes. With regard to other oaths, e.g. an oath taken by a woman in order to collect payment of a marriage contract, the one taking the oath grasps a sacred book other than a Torah scroll. And Sefer Flah, Shevuout 11:8, 11 Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:15. A Manisha by the Torah scroll may take an oath grasping phylacteries Abba Manisha. Talmid Chacham Atchila b'Tefillin. A Torah scholar may take an oath grasping phylacteries instead of a Torah scholar Abba Manisha. According to the Ramah, this applies only the first time he takes an oath in court. Subsequently, the standard halach applies to him, and is required to grasp a Torah scholar like ordinary people. According to the Shach, certain Rav Hagon, nowadays no distinction made between the Torah scholar and others with regard to this halacha, and almost grasp the Torah scholar. So the Rambam Sefer Flah, Shevuout 11:12, Mitzvot 87:15. The sages taught in a Braita, an oath imposed by judges may also be recited in its language. Shevuos hadayonin af he b'shlosha shona the emra. The proper way to administer an oath to a defendant is to do so in the language he speaks. Although judges customarily administer oaths in Hebrew to defendants who do not speak Hebrew, they must first translate the oath for the defendant into their own language. Shevuot 11:14, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:20. I.e., in any language spoken by the one taking the oath, it is not required that the oath be in Hebrew. Before he takes the oath, the judges say to him, "Be aware that the entire world trembled when the Holy One, blessed be He, said at Mount Sinai, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold guiltless one who takes his name in vain." Exodus 27. And they say to him, Amallah v'chodo. Before one takes an oath imposed by judges for the denial of a claim, it must be formed by the court as described on 39a, whereas the obligation to take an oath is by Torah law, by rabbinic law. If the claimant is himself uncertain of his claim, the defendant is not forewarned, and there are no grounds to assume he is lying. In any case, the judges should urge the litigants to reach a settlement so that neither will be liable to take an oath. Rambam Sefer Flah, Shevuot 11:15, 19 Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:21. And we'll just read the footnote when it says the entire world trembled. Shekol ha'olam kulo nis daza v'chula. How does a court forewarn a person taking an oath? It will say to him, "Be aware that the entire world trembled when the Holy One, blessed be He, said at Mount Sinai, you should not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." And be aware, with regard to all the other transgressions in the Torah, it is stated, will clear the guilty. Whereas with regard to taking a false oath, it is stated, will not hold guiltless. And be aware, with regard to all of the other transgressions in the Torah, only the transgressor is punished, whereas one takes a false oath, his entire family is punished. And he even causes the entire Jewish people to be punished, as all Jews are considered guarantors for each other. And be aware that with regard to all the other transgressions in the Torah, each transgressor has merit, God suspends his punishment for 2 or 3 generations, whereas one who takes the false oath is punished immediately. The Ramah writes, citing the ban, that a judge can continue to warn the litigant as he sees fit beyond the aforementioned wording. And so the Ramah Sefer Flah, Shevuot 11:16, Shulchan Aruch Mitzvot 87:20. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a very good Yom Tov and all the best. Bye.